Hey guys, thanks for joining us today. We are going to be discussing our favorite shows. There's a lot of content out there, but there's only so much you can do every day. You have to go back to your classics. So this is what we're going to be discussing. I'm Peel.
And I'm Travis, and this is the Travis and Peel Show.
All right, Travis. So as we've discussed, we've both been inside a lot. We're not going out too much. We're working and doing our thing, but
Indeed.
there's so many new shows, and we'd love to talk about it. That's what we're going to be doing all year, every week. But what are those shows that you go back and watch over and over, even though you know almost every line? The things that just bring you joy and make you happy. That's what we're going to talk about today. Travis, I want you to lead this off and go give me one of your favorite shows that you definitely like to bring back, and how this affects you as a person, as an individual.
I'm going to start off with the big dog, the big one. This is the one that it is revolving through my household on a quarterly basis, at least. But clearly, The Office is for me just that quintessential generation, once in a generation show that just I can't get enough of. Like ever. Like even this could be
Most of
blasphemy for
America
some.
agrees with you on this.
This is even now, some people won't agree with this part though. Like even the areas where like post Michael Scott, when Michael Scott leaves, I think the cast is so good it holds up. Yeah, it's missing that Michael Scott flair. Totally is. Totally. I 100% agree with people who say that, but the cast is scandal proof. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
they maintain their good. There's some weird Jim and Pam stuff towards the end that I don't like. Kind of like fast forward through that crap. But overall, The Office is almost always just like swinging within the revolving door of my household, like for sure. What's one for you, man?
Well, this is going to be a little older than The Office, and it's another classic, and you can catch it everywhere. And I remember watching this, during the '90s when it was out. Kind of aging myself a little bit there, but I have literally watched this show. I mean, there's been episodes I've probably seen at least 100 times, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
not exaggerating this. Seinfeld.
Seinfeld.
I absolutely, I watch Seinfeld all the time. It
Eh,
is one of my all-time favorite shows,
it's great.
and I love just going back and watching it because all the new technology and things that we have now, just how this show could have existed if it was set in like the modern times.
Mm-hmm.
But it's classic. There's so many things. There's so many characters. There's so many derivatives off the show that make the whole culture of things that came after it. And it's a classic, and it's 100% something that if it's on, I will stop what I'm doing and just sit there and watch it. Doesn't matter
Mm-hmm.
what episode it is. I'm just like, oh, hold on, Seinfeld's on. I'm gonna watch this real quick. And then usually you catch it on TBS or TNT or something like that, and it's episode after episode. So I'll lose days sometimes just sitting there watching Seinfeld. It's just what I do.
Yeah, the sitcoms for me are something that is generally something that I can't really get into. I, though, also have a sitcom on my list, and if it's not Seinfeld, it's going to be this one. And for me, it's Friends. Friends is something that I was shocked. So my ex-wife used to watch Friends. This was her number one show, like
Right.
revolving all the time
Like
in
so
the
many
house.
people.
Yeah, like very many people, and for good reason. It's an amazing show. And I would always just kind of like see it like on the side, like I would side eye it the entire time. And then recently, we just started now watching a Friends, and we're like on season 9 already, and just like churning through it. And I just realized, like, man, this show is great. And surprisingly, and I was going to ask you this about Seinfeld. Like, I didn't expect it to stand the test of time the way it does. Because usually these early 90s, mid to early 90s sitcoms, they show their age. Like, quite a bit
Right.
sometimes, too. So usually with like Friends, I like to start on like with The Office, it's season 1 to the end. I watch the entire thing, but with Friends, I usually start around season 4. I think is when that show hits its sweet spot. Seasons 1 through 3, they're good, tons of great stuff, but I really feel like it hits its stride maybe like halfway season 3 in and on, and then it does have a lot less of those 90 cliches. You can kind of tell that the producers and everybody on set knew that they had something there, so they tried to keep it time proof in a way. And I think Seinfeld probably did the same way. But do you think Seinfeld, like from start to finish, kind of like holds up watching it in this day and age? Like objectively, not like you love it. Do you think someone coming into it and watching it fresh, do you think that it would stand up?
Past year, no, because it's so much about social interaction and people. And it's the community and the individuals in your life. And we all have those kind of friends. We all have an Elaine. We all have, a Kramer. So that guy.
The racist guy who says the N-word on stage a lot all the time, basically?
Okay, maybe not. Yeah. Okay, yeah, probably we have that guy too.
We do have that guy.
But there's always something, and that's what it's about. It's about personal relationships, and that stands to any time. I know, like I said, once again, clothing, ideals, because cell phones, technology, things like that weren't there. But it's still the premise of what the show is. I believe holds the test of time. And you mentioned this that you are just, I guess, finishing or you're up to season 9 again. I just watched all of Friends for the first time this last year during quarantine.
It's pretty great.
When it came out, I watched maybe the first 3 or 4 seasons, because as I was watching the show recently, I was like, oh, okay, I remember this. Mm-hmm. But after like season 4, season 5, I was like, okay, I don't remember this. And then some episodes later, I was like, I remember seeing this at somebody's house or whatever, kind of like you said, side-eyeing. But this is the first time I've actually watched it in its entirety and completed it and saw every bit of it and got to, kind of understand what everybody was always so crazy about.
It's a really great show. It's really good. Yeah, season 4 to 7, there's it's one of the greatest gaps of television I think you can ever watch. And that's coming from me, which says a lot because I'm generally not a sitcom person. It's not my bag. And Friends just kind of...
There's some really good stuff.
Yeah. Let's jump into one I know it's on both of our lists, man. It's by far, but I think I think this one comes with an asterisk. And I think we also agree with the asterisk that's here. But Arrested Development's on both of our lists. I know it is.
Yeah.
This is on constant circulation in my house. I love this show. When it
first came on Fox in the early 2000s, I was blown away by how funny this show was.
Before its
and just
time.
How creative, how fantastic it was. And yeah, I kept saying, and even after it got canceled, it was just like, this show was so before its time. Nobody was ready for this kind of stuff. And then a few years later, I'm happy Netflix did what they did. And I guess this is kind of where the asterisk comes in, where so many things kind of got lost. They did a great job putting together, getting the cast back in there. The story was still funny. There were so many moments that made that show where it's a running joke, a running gag, a running thing that just happens, and you just brings you that that joy and laughter, seeing it from the very first episode to the end. Hop-ons and onion.
There's always money in the banana stand.
There's always money in the banana stand. It's fantastic. Love the show. Love the actors. Love everything about that show. And one thing that's another one for me. Yeah, it's always, I will sit there and watch Arrested Development, and I've probably watched through the season at least 6 times.
Yeah, I've started to trickle in a few episodes just already in 2021. My asterisk though is that it is a part of my yearly rotation, but only seasons 1 through 3. I just can't go back and watch I can't go back and watch the Netflix stuff. I just don't think it's quite as good. It's not an ensemble cast. It's more a character's focused on a specific episode. It's just not there for me. It's not there for me. I don't even think they have all of their original writing staff. It shows. Right. Yeah, it's missing. It's missing a lot. I'm glad they did it. I'm glad they were able to continue it on. I'm sure there are people out there that love it, but yeah, it's Arrested Development 1 through 3 for me. That's on that list. I just can't go back and watch the old stuff. What else you got?
Starting to feel like a lot of your shows here have asterisks, because you're just Friends, not the first 3 seasons. Arrested Development. I mean, you got to be tried and true. You got to hop in episode 1 and go into it.
My time is valuable. All right, very valuable, and I cannot waste it on subpar seasons of television. I need to go full bore. I got video games to play. I got
movies to watch.
New
content to take in.
Some human interaction has to be done in between that. I got to take the dogs out. Look, I'm busy. I'm extremely busy. So yeah, sometimes I can't watch the crappy parts of the television shows. Got to skip it.
It happens. All right, I know another one that we have on our list. Like I think we've both talked about this before. Parks and Rec, fantastic gym that came in, and it's right there. Like usually when I watch The Office, I then go and watch Parks and Rec afterwards. And I
That's
do
it.
that with 30 Rock as well. But Parks and Rec is definitely the one that I watch with The Office because it puts me right in that mood. Because they used to come on, right, boom, boom, right after each other.
Yeah, I 100% agree. It's either Parks and Rec then Office or Office then Parks and Rec. There's no Office and then watch another couple of shows. They feed so perfectly into one another.
Mhm.
Parks and Rec is one of those shows. I think pound for pound, The Office is a better show season to season. Parks and Rec's
I mean, I can
Parks
agree
and
with
Rec
that.
Parks and Rec though has my heart. I will say I love Parks and Rec more than The Office, even though I can objectively say
I
that
agree with that
Office is
too.
probably a better show.
Yeah,
Parks and
the
Rec,
cast, the characters are just, I don't know, priceless.
there are not very many memeable characters. It's very, very difficult for a show to have like a worldwide memeable character. But there is magic in Ron Swanson. And that show ending, I can't get enough of it. Like, if I could just have 4 hours of just Ron Swanson, I'm good.
Yeah,
I could just
well,
put my
Ron.
headphones on. Melissa got me this great little device, this little plastic arm that just kind of like ties to my like it like clamps it, like a vice. It clamps to my end table, and then it like
Mhm.
wraps all the way around and has a phone clip on it, so I can lay on my back and have my phone like right in my grill. And every night, it's Parks and Rec, man. Every night it's Parks and
Ron
Rec.
Swanson would hate you.
Heh. No, Ron Swanson would fucking. I would be his worst nightmare. I am such a diva, and I am reluctant. I'm not reluctant. I am dependent on everything that he hates. Everything that he hates.
Right?
I eat a lot of meat, so that's where
You
the
guys have that
similarities
connection.
are. He is all about doing things for yourself. Mr. Travis is all about paying someone to do it for him, and I am the complete opposite of Ron Swanson. But I
Or a
think,
piece of technology is usually my deal. Like I want the new freshness to like do
yeah,
something for me.
he may be the best single character in the last decade on television, no doubt, no doubt. And that's one of the main reasons why I watch Parks and Rec as well. I love that show. I
Yeah,
love that
beautiful.
show.
I totally agree. I love Parks and Rec. Everything was so clever about it.
Your list is bigger.
I'm
Your list is bigger than mine, so you keep going.
All right. Okay. So this is another one. Great cast of characters. Everything about this show since the first time I laid eyes on it, and still till this day, it's still running. It's still going, and I can't wait for the new season this year. It's I want to say what coming up on its 14th season now.
It's the
One of
longest
the
run. I know
longest.
it's. I know what show you're going to say. It's the longest running live action television show in the history of television.
All right. It's always sunny in Philadelphia. This is I got goosebumps just saying that name and tears in my eye because this is how much like joy that show brings to me. It is one of the funniest things I have ever seen. I can sit here and quote every bit of this show. It's I am beyond words with how great this show is. And nobody, or not nobody, but there's several people who've never seen it, never watched it, never gave it the time of day, missing the complete comical genius
It's
that
pretty great.
is this cast. I mean, it is absolutely amazing. And like, I feel like after we do this, I'm going to go and watch some Always Sunny, and then I follow all the creators, actors. I like to follow what they do in other sitcoms. Some of them are matched up. I actually just finished Mythic Quest on Apple
That's
TV,
with Mac.
and
That's Mac's show, right?
yeah,
Yeah. That
yeah,
seems
really
interesting
good
because
considering
like
everything.
he's like a kind of like a asinine, full of himself like video game developer, right, or something like that.
Yes. Yes, and
Okay.
it is
Yeah, yeah,
fantastic. It is hilarious.
yeah. I wanted to
And actually,
watch
I got
that.
some friends that recently watch it too, and they just hit me back and they're like, "Dude, this is probably one of my new favorite shows."
I gotta
And
catch it.
he was talking about how great it was. It is really good. If you have not watched it, watch it. Apple TV, get the free trial, right now. But there's a lot of things out there, a lot of content, so I definitely check it out. But yeah, Always Sunny is the main part of this. Is 100% one of my favorite shows. Can watch it anytime, anywhere. Like I
Totally
said,
agree.
it's magical.
The only
Magical.
the only reason it didn't hit my list is that that's probably a once a year thing, and I do kind of skip through the seasons a little bit. I
You
do
ruined
kind of
me,
skip
sir.
through.
You ruined me.
I'm sorry. You wound me more, I promise you. We've talked about it via text today. You wound me more. We will get to that.
That's
We will get to that on
14 seasons, okay?
That's true, yeah.
You're talking about a video game that I missed, a video game and its sequel.
Hey, time's valuable, right? I'm gonna give you my last one. This is the newest edition. Whoa, you okay? Small coughs. Small coughs. You'll get rid of it faster. Small coughs. You got it. Live TV, folks. So this this is the newest edition. I fell in love with this show. I fell in love with the show by way of my girlfriend. She started watching this show on a recommendation of someone else, and we started picking it up. It definitely takes some time to get into it. Definitely takes a couple of seasons. It's good from start to finish, but like you don't start to really love it until a couple of seasons in. Very similar to Parks and Rec. Parks and Rec is a slow burn at first. It really is. But once like Rob Lowe and everybody comes in, that's when the show really takes off. So it does take a little time to ramp up and like to figure out who the characters are. In Schitt's Creek, the characters know who. Like it's good from the start because the characters you get in episode 1 are the characters you get
The same character
at the very, very end. So they're very, very well thought out, well acted, and well fleshed out. This is a gem of a show, and you don't realize it. You don't realize it as much until you get into your subsequent viewings. Like the little bits and pieces that you will eventually appreciate about the show start to shine through. There's so much heart in every single character. Every single character starts off as like a borderline terrible person or an irredeemable in some way. And then by the end, you love every one of these characters, no matter if it's a main character or a side character. There's something about them that is just super endearing. And then the storylines are great. They do a great job of juggling a week-to-week storyline, but keeping it like continuous.
Right.
So that you don't want to skip around. You don't want to like start at season 2. You're gonna miss so much and everything. You want to make sure you start from the beginning and burn through at the end. And it's one of those shows that it just sneaks up on you. Like, holy shit, I'm in season 3 and I just realized I love this show. Like, I need this show in my life. I'm completely smitten with it. I know a lot of people started watching it on the back end of its existence or after the final season aired because they at the Emmys it swept like all television categories, like eight or 9 Emmys or something like that, and they won it back to back to back to back to back. And so I know a lot of people are just catching on to this show. If you're one of those who haven't, I mean, I cannot give you a better recommendation for a brand new show, something new. Because I know, like, Peel and I are in our 30s, man. We're going to give you a lot of older stuff, stuff that's been out, a lot of shows that are over with. And Schitt's Creek is over, but it is still a newer show. It debuted like 5 years ago, but it just ended. It's fantastic. So you've watched it apparently. So what do you think about it?
Yeah, I love it. Actually, I am saving the end to it because my girlfriend just recently started watching it, and so we're gonna kind of catch up, get through it, and everything, and watch the last season together.
That's
So
gonna
I'm
be
looking
great,
forward to that.
The last season was so great. It's arguably one of the better seasons for sure, for sure. Good solid end. You walk away happy, and there is talk of a movie. But
There's always talk of a movie.
I think they're gonna do it. There's no way they let these characters lie. But the thing is, here's my concern: the ending of the show is perfect. Do we want to risk it with a movie? Do we want to risk it? I kind of agree. I would love more of the roses, but I kind of agree with you. I kind of agree. Do you have anything else on your list?
Yeah, there's a few that you just go through. Some are not, they're newer shows, so I haven't got to do the year to year. And this is actually the first year that I haven't got to watch season 1 up to the new season, which was Game of Thrones. Every year since its inception, I would start from episode 1, watch it all the way through, get to the new season, watch the new season, and then the next year, rinse it out of the repeat. So this was the first year that yeah, no GOT, in the past year. So it was kind of weird to
Did you
not
like
go
the
back and
end?
watch it.
Did you like the end?
I mean, shows and movies disappoint based from literature and everything, and technically we don't even know
Yeah, but say
what happens.
yeah, you can't say it's literature
Okay, okay,
there.
okay, okay. For the show itself, it was an all right ending. But I love the story, love the actors going through. I was not 100% pleased with the final season, with things that happened, but it was still great. It was still epic, and it was still a fun time. And I'm
Yep.
never gonna take any of that away from it.
No.
I don't care what
Yeah.
anybody says about, oh, this shouldn't have happened. It was a fun
The
ride the
vast
whole way through.
majority of that show is stellar.
Yeah.
Stellar. Absolutely.
And I'm also into the books too, so looking forward to that. Hopefully that happens sometime soon.
There is one more I didn't put on my list, but I need to throw an honorable mention up there. I just rewatched it for the first time in years because after the finale aired live, I swore off the show. But I do think it will
Okay.
be coming back into my rotation. How I Met Your Mother. Um, I thought the ending was abysmal. I thought it was a slap in the face to the fandom who have waited 9 years to get to the end to find out who is the mother. Um, Other people love it. It's like Lost. Like I thought Lost was brilliant. A ton of people hate it. Um, I
Thought
just
it was good till the end.
didn't happen to like How I Met Your Mother, but I introduced the show to my girlfriend. She loved it, fell in love with it, loved the ending. So I do think it is going to come into the rotation. I do think it is going to be there,
I
but it is yet to be officially inserted in there. That's what she said.
Last year was my second viewing of it. Mhm. And you're the one who actually got me to start watching it because
Oh,
you were talking about how much you love the show. And so I was like, you know what? Let me give it a try. I never watched it. Boom, watched it. Thought it was really good. Last year, went ahead and rewatched it again. I watched a lot of like series. Like I went back and rewatched Cheers.
oh, I did
Okay,
that a
like I
couple of
watched
years ago. Cheers was
all of
fucking
Cheers.
amazing.
You
It's
know,
so good.
I did Married with Children. Like I went through like childhood coming through. Like it was really
Nick at
interesting.
Night
It
at
was a fun
Peel's
year.
house. All right.
Well, hey man, I think we touched on a lot of great shows, a lot of things that we got to talk about, some of our favorites. I think if anybody out there, you have something you'd like to add, put some of your favorite shows in there. I'm pretty sure we left plenty out. And yeah, let us know what you thought about this. And what are your thoughts and opinions on these shows? Do you love them? Do you hate them? Do you rewatch them too? Hey, let us know.
What a fantastic video. I'm going to tell you, probably our best yet. And Peel, that one thing that you said, I completely agree with 100%. Very astute comment by you, good sir.
Oh, I do thank you, and I appreciate that, but I couldn't have done it without you, my friend.
Aw.
You are the wind beneath my wings. And on that note, please like, subscribe, share, leave a comment below. Let us know what you think. Till next time.